I never thought I'd hear those words from someone I cared about. Not from her. Not from her mother. Not from my own family. It started on a quiet Tuesday evening. I was sitting in the living room, trying to unwind after a long day at work. My stepdaughter, Lily, had been acting moody all week. She was 15, which meant emotions were intense and unpredictable, but this time it felt different. I asked her to help set the table for dinner. "Why don't you just disappear?" she snapped, her voice sharp, almost cutting through me. I blinked, confused, shocked, hurt. "What did you just say?" I asked carefully, hoping I had misheard. She repeated it. "Why don't you just disappear?" Before I could respond, her mother, my wife, Claire, walked into the room. I expected her to intervene, to calm things down. Instead, she leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, and added, almost coldly, "He's right. You don't need him here." I froze. The words hit harder than anything Lily had ever said. It wasn't just teenage anger anymore. It was agreement. Validation of something I didn't even know I had done wrong. For a moment, I didn't know how to respond. My stepdaughter had been acting out, yes, but I had never treated her poorly. I tried to reason, to explain, to ask what had brought this on. "Why would you say that?" I asked Lily. "You don't understand anything," she snapped. "You never get it. You're here, taking over everything." "And you encourage this?" I asked her mother, my voice trembling. Claire shrugged. "I'm just being honest. Maybe if you weren't here, she wouldn't be so miserable." I felt my chest tighten, my mind spun. This wasn't just a fight. This was a declaration. I had been invisible in my own home for months, undermined by the very people I loved and trusted. I left the room without another word. I went to the study, shut the door, and sat in silence. Hours passed. I tried to process the pain, the betrayal, the sheer disbelief that my family could speak to me like this. Dinner came. I stayed silent. I watched them eat, their laughter and conversation a cruel reminder that I no longer had a place. That night, I lay awake, replaying every argument, every moment of tension, every time I thought I was helping or being kind. And slowly, the truth settled in. I was a stranger in my own home. I realized then that disappearing didn't mean running away. It meant reclaiming myself. It meant stepping back from people who treated me as optional, invisible, disposable. The next morning, I told Claire I needed space. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I simply packed a bag, took a key to a friend's apartment, and left. For the first few days, I stayed off social media. I didn't call. I didn't text. I let myself exist without their voices, without their judgments, without the constant feeling of being unwanted. During that time, I reflected on my role in the family. I realized I hadn't been passive because I was weak. I had been passive because I valued harmony over conflict. I had tolerated the snide remarks, the dismissive comments, the quiet undermining because I wanted everyone to be happy. But happiness forced at the expense of self-respect isn't happiness at all. After a week, Claire called. "I want to talk," she said. I hesitated, then calmly, "I'm listening." She explained her frustrations, her challenges with Lily, her perspective on our blended family. I listened, but I also spoke. I told her how her words and her daughter's words had wounded me, how I felt invisible, how I had been pushed aside in my own home. For the first time, she heard me. Not defensive, not dismissive. She simply listened. Lily didn't reach out directly, but over time, small gestures began. Notes on my car, tentative conversations. She was testing boundaries, learning respect. It didn't fix everything immediately. It didn't erase the nights I cried alone or the humiliation I felt. But it planted a seed. Disappearing that week had been the most important thing I had done for myself. I had created space to see the reality clearly, to understand my worth, and to recognize that love and family only work when mutual respect exists. Months later, the tension eased. Lily started opening up. Claire apologized, not just for the words, but for enabling hurt. We began rebuilding cautiously. I still remembered that night, those words, the sting of being dismissed. But I also remembered the clarity it gave me. Sometimes, stepping back, even from the people you love, is the only way to reclaim your life. Disappearing wasn't giving up. It was choosing myself first. And in that choice, I found strength, dignity, and a clearer understanding of what a family should be. One where voices are heard, respect is mutual, and no one ever tells you to disappear.